John May, General Manager of Petrale Roofing, up on another customer's roof doing a free 21-point inspection. If you'd like us to take a look at your roof, give us a call today, 719-375-8773. We'd be happy to take a look and see the condition of your roof. Petrale Roofing, we're a Diamond certified TAMCO installer, which means we can offer a industry-leading 25-year workmanship warranty to give you peace of mind in the storm. Call Petrale Roofing, 719-375-8773. Schedule your free inspection today.
Good afternoon, and right on schedule. We are starting to see storms increase in intensity, and we have our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day to tell you about. So let's jump right into your forecast, and you can see the yellow box on your screen. This does include far southeastern Fremont County and portions of Pueblo County. Included within this warning are Penrose and Pueblo West, and this warning is going to stay in effect for the next 25 minutes or so. It is set to expire at 3:45, and it is for this storm that is continuing to slide eastward toward Pueblo currently. This storm is capable of producing 1 inch in diameter hail. It is also capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour gusts along with very heavy rain. We'll zoom in on this storm, and you'll see that it is pushing toward the Pueblo area, impacting portions of Highway 50 as it does so. It's moving east of Penrose right now, so Penrose, you're still getting some rain, but the heaviest of the rain is pushing to the east of you now and is heading toward Pueblo West, and with the potential for this storm to produce some decent hail. If you are in the Pueblo West area and you are seeing the storm off in the distance, it is heading your way. If you have the opportunity to do so, I would park my car under cover as this storm rolls overhead, again, because of that hail threat. The storm is moving east at about 20 miles per hour, so if we put the track on the storm itself, it should begin to push into Pueblo West right around 3:43, and then eventually heading in toward Pueblo closer to about 4 o'clock. So again, this storm capable of producing not only heavy rain, which could cause visibility issues on the roads, some ponding on the roads as well. It is also producing the potential for 1 inch in diameter hail. So our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day has been issued for that area of yellow on your screen, the yellow box on your screen, which does include Pueblo West, and this warning will continue until 3:45 due to the fact that this storm, as it has rolled into western Pueblo County, is still capable of producing that large hail. Now, this isn't the only storm that we are keeping an eye on. It is certainly the strongest, but we are continuing to see a bit of heavy rain up around the Pikes Peak region as well. Quite a bit of thunder and lightning being seen and heard around the Colorado Springs area. We do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings as of yet. However, you will notice that we have this long line of storms that extends from Colorado Springs back into Fremont County, and that is producing some pretty heavy rain. So if we take a closer look around the Colorado Springs area, where we are seeing the heaviest rain as of right now is right along I-25, just to the south of Highway 24. So around Las Vegas Street, Asherzon Boulevard, Hancock Expressway, near Cheyenne Mountain Boulevard. Those are going to be all areas where we are getting some decent rain right now. We love to get the rain. We'd love to see the rain without the hail, especially. And that's what we are getting for the majority of the Colorado Springs area. And you'll notice that that line of storms again continues back into Fremont County. If we put it into motion, you can sort of see the progression of these storms as they are slowly traveling off toward the south and east. We have a little bit more of an impressive cell that has just popped up to the east of Fountain, and that storm is going to be impacting Squirrel Creek Road. This is just to the north of Hanover as well. That is an area where we could see some embedded hail with that storm as it is pushing through southern El Paso County. Again, it's kind of just developed. Eventually, it will slowly drift off toward the east, but as of right now, just seeing some heavy rain on the map, and that is going to be something that we'll see a lot of here as we take you through the remainder of your Sunday. To the east of Rush, we also have a pretty strong storm that is prompting some concerns along Highway 94 with respect to how heavy the rain is falling. And in those areas of pink, again, it is very possible we could have some pea-sized hail embedded within that storm too. I will put that into motion so you can see the progression of that cell as well. Not really moving a whole lot right now. It looks like it has just been focusing its energy rather on intensifying right along Highway 94 just to the east of Rush. This storm, no severe thunderstorm warning associated with it yet, but of course, if that changes, we'll let you know right here on Peaks to Plains. If we zoom out again, we have the only severe thunderstorm warning as of right now that has been issued for Pueblo County as well as eastern Fremont County. And you'll notice that now we also have, because that line of storms is starting to extend a little farther toward the south, and we have a cell that is currently moving over the Aspen Acres fire. And so for that reason, now we do have flash flood warnings that have been issued for the Aspen Acres fire. Flash flood watches have already been issued. Those are in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. And now with the heavy rain that's pushing through the northern flanks of the fire, we also have that flash flood warning that will stay in effect until 6:30 for both the northern and also the central portions of the Aspen Acres fire. And I'll get another map on here for you so that you can sort of see the perimeter of the fire and where the heaviest rain is currently falling. But it is going to be impacting, looks like, the northern and central portions of the Aspen Acres fire. So as we know very well, when we do get rain over the Aspen Acres fire, it doesn't have to even be a lot for it to cause major issues. So flash flood warnings have been issued, and those will stay in effect until 6:30. And I have a camera that looks right at the Game Gulch camera, which is just to the south of Beulah. It doesn't look overly impressive as of right now. I'll show it to you. And you can kind of see what's happening within the fire itself. A little bit of rain on the road behind. Now, this is a series of live still images that are updated about every 5 minutes. So it's not looking as impressive or very impressive as of right now, but that is simply because it looks like the heaviest rain is just off to the north of where this camera is located. This camera is about 2 miles just to the south of Beulah. So I will bring you back over to radar and we'll show you exactly what we are seeing within the burn scar itself. And that is going to be the heavy rain that is pushing into the northern flanks of the perimeter itself. And that is why we have that flash flood warning. So let's take you back over to radar and we'll break this down for you. Again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that does include Pueblo West. This storm is moving off toward the east, impacting Highway 50, also pushing away from Penrose. And along the southern edge of that storm, we have some rain that is pushing across the northern and central portions of the Aspen Acres fire. Now, see that area of pink? I know there's a lot of lines going on in your screen right now. So just to try to help clarify what we have going on, this pink outline is the actual outline of the fire itself. The green shapes that you see on your screen, those are where we have flash flood warnings now in effect until 6:30 as this heavy rain continues to move through. This is going to start pushing toward Beulah, so I anticipate that that camera view that I just showed you is going to start to look more and more impressive here over about the next 30 minutes or so. Not a severe storm that's moving through the Aspen Acres fire, but again, rain heavy enough where flash flooding is going to be a concern, and it really doesn't take much in the way of rain these days to cause debris flows and flash floods in that area. So that is why we do have that. We had some rain over the past couple of days, and so it wouldn't take much more to obviously cause issues in that region. We are continuing to keep an eye on, of course, all of the drainages within the Aspen Acres fire. So the ones that are currently being impacted with the heaviest rain include Panther Creek, Yellow Creek, Middle Creek, North Red Creek, as well as Ditch Creek and Middle Creek. Squirrel Creek also getting some decent rain right now, so we will need to continue to keep an eye on that situation as that storm rolls overhead. And you'll really notice that over the past 30 minutes, storms have continued pushing off the Front Range, heading toward the I-25 corridor. We have a nice line of storms also across central El Paso County into portions of Lincoln and Elbert County. The only severe thunderstorm warning, though, that we have as of right now is for the line of storms that is pushing across Highway 50 heading toward Pueblo West. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for about the next 15 minutes. And there is still the potential for 1 inch in diameter hail. And you'll notice this storm is starting to break up just a little bit, but it appears like the best opportunity for hail would probably be in these two little hail cores that are popping up south of Highway 50. Pushing just north of Highway 96 and south of Highway 96. So the highway is right in between, likely getting some pretty heavy rain, but the hail core, what we look for is those areas of white and pink where we're sort of getting the strongest returns on radar. That is suggestive of those areas producing not only the heaviest of rain, but also the greatest potential to be producing that 1 inch in diameter hail. So a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now. This storm is pushing out of Fremont County and into Pueblo County right now. Severe thunderstorm warning does not include Pueblo proper, but it does include Pueblo West. As this storm continues traveling eastward, though, you will notice that rain picking up, quite a bit of thunder and lightning along with this storm too. So you're probably getting quite the light show off to the south and west of Pueblo. Along southern portions of this line of storms, we do have rain that is moving over the Aspen Acres fire. So again, we do have the flash flood warnings for those green boxes on your screen. Those will continue until 6:30 this evening. So those storms are going to be problematic here as we take you through the next couple of hours. We have quite a bit of rain that's falling for southern I-25 and some of our southern Sangre de Cristo mountains as well. Nothing severe in that area, but of course there is the potential that we could get some strong storms that develop over our southern mountains and then push over the southern I-25 corridor. So that is something that we are going to keep an eye out for. We have several strong storms also around the Pikes Peak region, and you'll notice that Colorado Springs is getting some rain, but the heaviest, strongest storm is just to the south of Highway 94, and that storm is really not moving all that much. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a little bit of pea-sized hail along with some ponding on the roads and the fields in that part of the county. Right now, that storm is capable of producing 50 to 55 mile per hour gusts, so it is strengthening, and nickel-sized hail is going to be possible with that storm. So another strong storm that we are keeping our eye on, and that storm doesn't really look like it's moving all that much, but it is in an area where the flow is out of the west, so it should be pushing off toward the east here once it starts moving a little bit more so. We have another strong storm that is now impacting Highway 94 just to the east of Rush, another cell that's to the southeast of Truckton. So we expected things to get pretty active this afternoon, and that's exactly what we have going on right now. So storms are continuing to bubble up not only around the Pikes Peak region, but also around Pueblo County, and it is Pueblo where we have our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day, and that will stay in effect here until 3:45. That storm does, though, look like it is losing just a little bit of its intensity. If we watch the loop here, you'll notice that that bright area of pink that was kind of right near Highway 50 southeast of Penrose starting to lose a bit of its organization, which is suggestive that this storm is decreasing in intensity. Still bringing a lot of heavy rain though, so Pueblo West, get ready for this rain. It is going to be pushing your way here over about the next 20 to 25 minutes. Pueblo taking a little bit longer, probably about 25 to 30 minutes for it to head your way, and then eventually this line of storms is going to begin sliding across the lower Arkansas River Valley from Pueblo to Avondale. So we are going to be dealing with storms here for quite some time, not only this afternoon, but I do expect storms to last well into this evening also. Storms that develop today will be capable of producing not only heavy rain, but we are also expecting the potential for hail as these storms roll through the area. And as we take you into the evening and especially into the first part of the night, the strongest storms that still stick around, continually producing heavy rain, but we'll also start to see that threat for damaging winds really on the increase, especially as these storms roll out across the plains. So to show you what we have going on right now, we have the area of green, which just shows that we have a flash flood watch in effect for the Aspen Acres fire. We currently now have a flash flood warning for northern and central portions of the Aspen Acres fire, as well as rain is moving over the region. We do have that yellow box on your screen too, which is a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Pueblo County for that storm that we just showed you. As we take you through the remainder of the evening, here's sort of how everything is going to shape up for you. We have that cluster of storms around the Pikes Peak region, and we also have those storms kind of around our central and southern mountains. As we take you through the next couple of hours, you'll notice that storm motion is going to take a lot of the activity east out across the plains by about 5:30. We'll still be left with a few storms around the Pueblo area, an isolated storm around the Pikes Peak region, or even up along the Palmer Divide closer to Denver. Certainly not out of the question during that time frame. But as the evening progresses, the bulk of the activity is really going to push out across the plains with conditions quieting from west to east during the late evening. So here's a look at 8:30. We should have a cluster of storms as we have seen for the past several days right along I-70, and another cluster of storms over areas like La Junta out toward Lamar, where heavy rain is still going to be possible into the late evening. And then taking you into the overnight time period, that's when everything sort of comes to an end. And by sunrise Monday morning, everything should be dry along and east of I-25. Could have a few areas of clouds, possibly even some low clouds due to the rain that has rolled through. But for the most part, we should start to see things really quieting down during the late evening through about midnight, and then skies beginning to clear as we take you into your Monday morning. So it's really going to be between now and during the evening when things are going to be the most active. So taking you back out to our Game Gulch camera, this is going to be an area where we are monitoring that culvert there for the potential for some indicators that there is flooding or flash flooding happening or any debris flows, and just to kind of gauge how much water is falling in the area. This is just the south of Beulah, where we are starting to see some heavy rain pushing through. That has prompted the National Weather Service to issue flash flood watches. And that is going to be a trend, not only today, but also tomorrow. We have flash flood watches that have been already issued. Whoops, let me get that back up there for you. Flash flood watches that have already been issued in advance of another round of thunderstorms that's going to move through on Monday. So we are expecting several rounds of heavy rain producing storms, not only through the day today, but Monday, Tuesday, especially on Wednesday. Wednesday, we have a wave that rolls through that will shift winds out of the east and kind of give us another influx of low-level moisture. So Wednesday looking to be very active. So we are going to keep the potential for flash flooding in the forecast through about Wednesday. If we get isolated storms Thursday and Friday, that chance will continue, but Thursday into Friday, it should begin to dry out at least somewhat in the area. But for right now, certainly not dry across many areas. We love getting the beneficial rainfall, but we know very well that the Aspen Acres fire is just an area where, while we love getting the rain, it's not capable of handling a lot of rain in a short period of time. So that's why we do have flash flood warnings that have now been issued for the Aspen Acres fire. Those will stay in effect until 6:30 this evening, and that is because the storms that are rolling through are capable of producing some very heavy rain. So debris flows are likely when this heavy rain pushes through. So this is going to include the northern Aspen Acres burn scar as well as the central portions of the Aspen Acres burn scar. And that's something that's been really interesting to watch. With rain that has rolled through the area, it hasn't all been treating the burn scar equally. So the northern and central areas of the burn scar have been getting quite a bit of rain. Meanwhile, the southern flanks, the southeastern flanks really haven't been getting as much. So just something to keep in mind. Where we have had rain over the past couple of days, of course, that is, those are going to be areas that are even more susceptible to debris flows and mudslides and things of that nature. Now, Beulah and San Isabel are the areas that are included in those warnings. The Beulah water intake, North Creek Road, county line to Red Mountain Camp, and North Creek Road from Red Mountain Camp to Beulah are all included in those flash flood warnings. And those are for those green shapes, those green borders that you see on your screen. The pink border, if you're just joining us, is the actual perimeter of the Aspen Acres fire. So it just kind of shows you where the heaviest rain is right now. And it is continuing to slide over the northern flank, the central flank from the Yellow Creek drainage over Panther Creek, North Creek. Beulah is getting in on that rain right now. It is going to continually increase. The rain rates, rather, will increase near the North St. Charles River. And so we are going to have to keep an eye on this. Now, the storm that's rolling through the Aspen Acres fire is not severe. However, it is producing that heavy rain. Farther toward the north is where we do have the severe thunderstorm warning, which we'll talk about here in just a second, that is impacting areas to the east of Penrose as well as Pueblo West. And you'll notice that right there is another little hail core that's just outside the perimeter, but very close, kind of right on it. Near the Aspen Acres fire. So that is part of that warning area that we'll talk about right now. Severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Pueblo County now. This storm has cleared out of eastern Fremont County, so it is going to be around the Pueblo County where we still have that threat for very heavy rain, along with 1 inch in diameter hail, and we still have the potential for some 60-mile-per-hour gusts also as that storm continues slowly sliding toward the east. Quarter-size hail actually is now what we anticipate, what radar is suggesting we could see with this line of storms that has developed that is moving toward the I-25 corridor. You'll notice that it has gotten a little messier looking. It is still capable of producing some very heavy rain, but as far as that really significant hail core that we were having watching as this storm developed just to the south of Penrose. It's gotten a little bit less intense. So still looking for the potential for hail. Heavy rain will still be a threat. This storm is still producing quite a bit of lightning as well. A severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about the next 15 minutes. You will notice another really impressive storm though over southern El Paso County, and that storm is just right to the north of Hanover, kind of right between Security Widefield, Fountain, and Hanover, and it's really just kind of building over the same area. It hasn't moved out much or moved to the east at all much. Nickel-sized hail along with 50 to 55 mile per hour gusts associated with that storm. And then with this cell right here, and then we have another storm that is just off to the east in Lincoln County, impacting areas along Highway 94. None of these storms in El Paso County or Lincoln or Kiowa County, or I'm sorry, Lincoln or Elbert County have been warned as severe. However, they are capable of producing that decent sized hail along with some strong wind gusts, 50 mile per hour wind gusts possible with both of those storms. And with this cluster of cells right here, it is possible we could have some half-inch size hail embedded within those storms. So quite a bit of activity going on as we take you into your Sunday afternoon and evening. So we have the severe thunderstorm warning for Pueblo County. We also have those two green boxes showing where we have flash flood warnings now issued for the Aspen Acres fire. I'm going to take a look at that Game Gulch camera and see if it's looking any more impressive. And as far as the rain coming out of the culvert itself, not overly impressive, but you'll notice that we are getting quite a bit of rain now showing up on the road behind. Again, this is a look at the USGS Game Gulch camera that is on Highway 78 near Beulah Valley. And it's a live stream of pictures. So it gets updated about every 5 minutes. So if it looks like it's still, it is. It's a series of still images that are continually updated, but they have been very, very helpful in monitoring the amount of rain that is coming out of that culvert, which kind of is suggestive of the potential for flooding and flash flooding. So this area is included in the flash flood warning that will be in effect until 6:30. And we do have a flash flood watch that stays in effect until 9 o'clock for the Aspen Acres fire, as we do anticipate the potential for rain to last well through the evening and also into the first part of the overnight time period. I will check that for you with Skycast coming up here in just a second, but wanted to take a quick look back to radar and show you sort of what we have going on. And we have this nice line of storms that has really developed. It started kind of as just a few storms that initiated, but now it's sort of congealing into this line that extends from southern El Paso County across western Pueblo County. We also have a cluster of storms that's popped up just to the west of Walsenburg over some of our southern mountain locations. And these storms are all kind of moving off toward I-25. So travel really between Colorado Springs to Pueblo and south to Walsenburg here over about the next hour and a half, as these storms eventually slide over the interstate, are going to be definitely far from ideal. So that is going to be something we will have to really keep an eye on. And I want to show you something else too. We are keeping an eye on conditions within the severe thunderstorm warning that we have in Pueblo County. So here you can see some of the wet roads that are around Pueblo as a result of the heavy rain. I don't see indicators of hail or things of that nature having piled up on the roads, but you can see the water on the camera lens, water on the roads, and this is from various cameras around where that warning has been issued. So a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for Pueblo County for about the next minute. And that is due to that storm that is continuing to impact areas just to the west of Pueblo proper, sliding toward Pueblo West right now. These storms are expected to continue well into the evening hours. And we also have something that I really love looking at. I'm going to show it to you, but we have outflow boundaries that we are going to have to keep a very close eye on here as we take you through the remainder of the afternoon and into the evening. And you'll start to see it a little bit better as it moves beyond Pueblo. But if you're in Pueblo and you notice the winds just picking up, the reason why is because these storms, as they produce this rain-cooled air, it kind of falls out of the bottom of the storm, right? It hits the ground, spreads out in all directions. You can think of it, it feels like a mini cold front as it moves through, but what's really interesting, and you can sort of start to see it right here on your screen. And what's really interesting is along these these outflow boundaries, we have the tendency to see them produce their own weather. So when they collide with each other, if we get two outflow boundaries that collide, that creates the lift that we need for thunderstorm initiation. We can see thunderstorms initiate along a single boundary as well. So it's really interesting to watch them interact. And as we get more and more storms around the area through the remainder of the afternoon and into this evening, I anticipate that we will start to see those boundaries interacting and producing more storms, which could mean that even as the first round of storms roll through, if you get one of those outflow boundaries to push back into an area where storms have already moved through, you can get the reinitiation of yet another round of storms. The severe thunderstorm warning that we had issued for the western portions of Pueblo County, that has been allowed to expire. We still have the flash flood warnings, though, for the Aspen Acres fire. The good news, though, is it does appear as though the heaviest rain is starting to push off of the Aspen Acres fire itself. So let me get that a better view of the rain and where in the Aspen Acres fire we are seeing the heaviest rain right now. And it still is on the northeastern flank and the central portions of the Aspen Acres fire. The southern side of the fire hasn't gotten as much rain, so no flash flood warning actually issued for the portions of the fire that are closest to Colorado City and Rye. Instead, it's going to be now the heaviest rain that is pushing over North Creek and the North St. Charles area, so right about here. Beulah is still getting in on some of that heavy rain also, but as far as the heaviest rain, it is going to be falling over the western flank. And I want to take you back to that Game Gulch camera because it's looking a little bit more impressive now as the heaviest rain has been pushing over Beulah. And you can see before we were showing, you just kind of had a little bit of a trickle coming out of that culvert right there. But now you sort of see a more impressive stream of water. I'm going to check a few of my resources that I like to look at to see if there's any. I don't have any reports of flooding as of right now, but sometimes there are, some managements that release that information. So let me look and see if I can get any reports of any flooding. I don't have any as of yet, but of course, if that changes, we'll let you know right here on Peaks to Plains. Let's see, doesn't look like anything definitive yet. But we do have obviously some very heavy rain continuing to impact that part of the state. And so this is, if you're just joining me, I explained it earlier, this is a live stream of still pictures. It gets updated about every 5 minutes. This is located just about 2 miles south of Beulah, and it is a really good indicator of what we have happening within the burn areas. You can obviously see very heavy rain off in the background on the roads. You can see that rain flooding through and filling that culvert also. Now, during some of the peak events where we have had a lot of heavy rain over the Aspen Acres fire, we have actually seen this culvert almost completely full. So it's been a really helpful tool to sort of get some real-time information as to what is happening in that part of the state. So heading back over to radar now, we still have those flash flood warnings. Those are those green boxes on your screen. We still have a cluster of strong storms that's impacting areas across southern El Paso County, including this cell that is just to the north of Hanover. That, in my opinion, as of right now, looks to be the strongest storm that we have on the map right now. This storm is capable of producing 55-mile-per-hour gusts. It's just to the south, or the hail core capable of producing about nickel-sized hail is just to the south of Squirrel Creek Road near Peyton Highway. And you'll see that even in the progression of this storm, it's really not moving overly quickly. So wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of flooding beneath that storm as well, as it is producing some very heavy rain. We have heavy rain in southeastern Colorado Springs, Security Widefield Fountain also getting in on some of that rain. Portions of Fort Carson still getting rain. Southwestern El Paso County getting some decent rain. The heaviest rain in the Colorado Springs area looks like it has moved off toward the south and east, so rain rates are lightening around Colorado Springs. In Lincoln County, still have a cluster of strong storms. Also, no severe thunderstorm warnings as of yet, but that is something that we are going to be continually monitoring here as we take you through the remainder of your Sunday, as we do have all of the ingredients in place. We have plenty of moisture to work with. We have some instability that combined with some of the daytime heating, which helps to bubble things up. And we have everything in place to keep things pretty active here over the next several hours and into the first part of the night tonight. I do want to use one of our other tools that we have. One of the nice things about Peaks to Plains is we have lots of tools at our disposal to kind of show you what we have going on. And the reason that I want to show you this vantage point of radar is this one's picking up more so on those outflow boundaries that I was telling you about. So taking a look at this line right here, this is as a result of those storms that prompted a severe thunderstorm warning earlier that has been allowed to expire for Pueblo County. While the storm itself has weakened, it has shot out what we call an outflow boundary. And I'll kind of show you, I'll rewind the radar a little bit. This takes it back to about 2:40 when those storms were prompting that severe thunderstorm warning, but then watch as that line shoots out from the storm, pushes through Pueblo. So again, Pueblo, you likely noticed a kind of a chilly breeze picking up. It is going to continue sliding toward the east, heading toward Boone. And as it does so, we have a tendency to see these boundaries sort of work as a focus point for further storm development. If we get two boundaries that collide, that can create thunderstorms, or we can also see thunderstorms develop right along those boundaries. So we'll have to watch that one. And we have another boundary even coming in from the north from the storms that are over southeastern El Paso County. You can see right here, we've got three boundaries that are colliding as we speak. And as I was mentioning, when they collide, it kind of creates that lift that's needed for further thunderstorm development. And it looks like that's exactly what's happening right along the El Paso and Pueblo County line. So right along, let's see, Meridian and Overton Road and right near I-25 as those boundaries are going to push together and likely create another little area of thunderstorms. But as of right now, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings to tell you about. I used to have the flash flood warnings, of course, for the Aspen Acres fire. That green shaded area is where we have a flash flood watch that remains in effect for the Aspen Acres fire specifically. Over the next several hours, it's set to expire at 9 o'clock because we are going to keep the potential for storms in the forecast here as we take you through the rest of the afternoon into the evening and into the first part of the night tonight. In fact, I expect storms for the most part to begin to decrease in intensity as well as coverage as we take you into the later evening and into the first part of the night tonight. And then everything ends into early Tuesday morning. So here's a look at, here's early Monday morning, pardon me. As we take you through the night tonight into your early Monday morning, everything comes to an end. But for the next several hours, you'll see it here on SkyCast. We do expect storms to continue to produce quite a bit of heavy rain across the region, with the focus for the storms continually shifting out east as we take you into the early evening. Here's a look at 5:30. And then during the late evening hours, the storms should really reside around Lamar, portions of the lower Arkansas River Valley, up along the I-70 corridor, and then eventually, as I mentioned, pushing off toward the east with things here in Colorado at least coming to an end shortly after midnight. And as we take you into your early Monday morning by sunrise, we should have plenty of clear skies around. Should be a pleasant start to your Monday, but then we are expecting to do it all again during your Monday afternoon. So just to break it all down for you again, we do have a flash flood warning that has been issued for the Aspen Acres fire, and that is because of rain that rolled through. It does look like the heaviest rain has now moved off the scar itself, but it is still possible we could get several more rounds of rain before the night is done. So we will be monitoring that closely. We will continue jumping in with live coverage as needed to make sure that you are in the loop and you are aware of the threatening weather. If it is heading your way, we will send you an alert through the Peaks to Plains weather app. So make sure you have your locations turned on, your alerts turned on. We can even single out certain areas if there is a specific storm that is going to impact your specific area. We will send you information on that. So Peaks to Plains app, definitely something that is going to come in handy as we take you through the remainder of your Sunday and likely into the first part of the week as well. You can find your extended forecast on the Peaks to Plains app also. And that is something that is going to show several stormy days before we dry out later into the week. So that has been your severe thunderstorm coverage here on Peaks to Plains. We still have those flash flood warnings in place for the Aspen Acres fire. The severe thunderstorm warning, however, for Pueblo has been allowed to expire as things change this evening. Stick with us. We will continue to track everything across southern Colorado for you because it's our weather together.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Dewey, here with another WaterWise tip.
During summer, do you know why we water up to 3 days a week?
To make the best use of me.
Exactly. It builds deeper, stronger roots and makes your lawn more resilient.
Also, use the cycle and soak method. Try shorter cycles with breaks in between to reduce runoff.
And in spring or fall, you can water 1 or 2 days per week. Be WaterWise and your lawn will thrive.
Now that's WaterWise. Learn more at csu.org/WaterWise.